hear me okay? Looks like the mic is live, got everything going, all the stuff on the background. Good evening to everybody out there. What day is it? Anybody know? Let's see. It is the October the 26th. The October the 26th. Hope everybody's doing well. What happened today in your world? In mine, so for those of you that know, music is loud as hell. Well, shit, let me turn the things on. How's that? Hey, J Cam, how are you? Is that better? Fret, is that better? Can you hear me now? I turned it down by like half, so it should be a lot better now. Much better, yes. Okay, sorry for blowing you out like that. So today is October the 26th, and today, what happened in your world? Today in mine, we finally got off the practice started. I had my first client today in the new clinic, so that was cool. Had a good day. Otherwise, running around, you can't hear me. Fret Father, you can hear me, right? J Kim, it's probably on your end then. You might want to turn me up. Is the audio sounding clear on my end otherwise? Yeah, so everything went well, man. It was a good session, and I'm looking forward to doing more. I think I'm going to dig it. Yeah, it was really, really a good time. So otherwise, my day was just the usual parenting chaos and juggling things and stuff, and the weekend was the same. So what did you guys do? How are you feeling? J Kim, how's the pain? What's shaking with you? You managing to stay somewhat comfortable? And Fret, what are you up to? Sorry we didn't get to connect last night. I been trying to play on again, off again with my friend to try to do the Baldur's Gate thing. I'm not even on Discord. I forgot to get on Discord. The Baldur's Gate co-op play. I've been doing that and having a lot of fun with it. But yeah, good day for me. Took off early for a medical appointment. New job on the horizon. Looking forward to change. So did you get the affirmative that's all moving forward now? Like the job stuff is happening? For sure, certain? There will be no uncertainty? And J Kim, CPP actually called me today and said, hey, you want to pick up a shift? Jokingly. Because they're apparently having a bit of a rough time. Certain, thankfully. Whoa, you're going to have to fill me in on that, dude. That's awesome. Let me get on Discord. Got to close. And I got to make sure I got my voice chat thing up too. 1 sec. That's great to hear, man. I'm happy for you. So tonight on the Horizons, what I was planning on doing is doing this game called Kind Words. That music that you hear in the background is actually from the game. And so Kind Words is it's not a persistent world, but it's like people can play the game and send out messages into the ether where they, may or may not have something happening. And so you as the player can go and respond affirmatively to those peeps and kind of offer support to them in one way or another. It's pretty cool. So we'll get to that in just a second, just to see how everybody else is. Anybody else want to check in before we get cracking? So it's, for those of you that are familiar with it, the heart support thing is one of the things we used to do, and I'll post that link in just a second. So I'm a member of the Heart Support Stream Team, and Heart Support is a non-for-profit organization that that provides support to people that aren't necessarily in crisis, but might be having a rough time of things. And so folks can go to that forum and basically offer support to anybody that needs it. And so myself as a streamer is part of that community. So we used to go there, and I haven't done this in a while yet. We used to go there and provide support to people on the forum. So today we're going to do something a little bit different. We've done this before on stream. Today we're going to do something a little different, because we're just going to do Kind Words, use that as kind of a check-in and an icebreaker for the stream overall. But you are always more than welcome to go to that website and provide support to those folks if you feel like that's something that you want to do. And I'll post that link up right now. There's always people that are needing help. All right, Fret. There you go. J Kim, if you're interested in that, it might give you something to do. You're bored. I don't know what's on my agenda for tomorrow. Let me check real quick. But tomorrow is pretty open, I think. Week views. Week. Pressing. Gonna have to start working on that. All right. You'd like to do that too? Yeah, it's there. Have that. I don't have anybody on my schedule as of yet tomorrow, so unless that changes miraculously, then maybe we can get together. Okay, let's see where we're at here. We've got, we were gonna do this one. Maybe. Which one's better? This one? I like this one. Are we getting audio lag again? Didn't you used to do Monday Mental Health Mondays? Nope, that was this, man. We did it. Welcome, underscore. Yeah, we did. We do Mental Health Mondays. This so that's why we're doing kind words, because it's kind of Mental Health Monday-ish. Folks put messages out into the ether and need support, and we go and give support. So yeah, we do Mental Health Mondays. Why? What's going on with you? Welcome to the stream. Pull up a seat. If you can manage. Well, shoot me a text tomorrow and we'll see what's up. Yeah, so kind words. Why don't we get started? We'll just show you what I'm talking about. Ta-da! You just got diagnosed with autism as an adult? As a child? How old are you? So the game is, as you play and you do various tasks in the world, you get all these little things to decorate your room with. And so these letters that you see flying through the clouds, or the space around your room, are the things that you can check out. So 21 and you got diagnosed. So I imagine where do you fall on the spectrum? I just can't get into college this semester. I have really low grades and I just don't care anymore. I just really can't keep up. And without semester ending next month, I just don't care. Even if I did, I'd have no idea how to ask for help. I'm just too tired for this. So that's an example of something that we can respond to. But I mean, you're 21, so what does that mean for you getting diagnosed with autism as an adult? Underscore. What do you think that's going to mean for you? How are you feeling about it? So then we can respond to them if we want to, or move on to the next one. So this gives an example of, let me see, so we can go to the next button and see what happens. I don't know, I just don't feel much right now. There just isn't anything. Don't need a letter back at the moment, just want to let you know, whoever's reading this, good luck out there. We're living in some crazy times. No shit. So I'm just wondering what that feels like, getting a diagnosis like that later on in life, and what that means to you as an adult. And looking back on the rest of your life and thinking, well, now that I know that I have this thing, how was my life altered, and how would it have been different and had I gotten that diagnosis at a younger age? So I'm guessing you're what would have been called somebody who's might be on the autism spectrum, or Asperger's. Right, you must be higher functioning if you didn't get the diagnosis when you were younger, right? Yeah. It does. Yep, you're right. Depression does have a spectrum function. You are right. There are people who can't even get out of bed with depression, and there are people who make appointments but have no purpose in life. So do we have a depression spectrum disorder too? We do not. So what would you prefer it to be called? Do you want it just to be called autism? And that's what it's called professionally, right? It's autism. ASD, autism spectrum diagnosis. But if you just want to call it autism, that's completely to you. Your choice. Hey, Not More, welcome. I love the penguins. Who has the penguins? There's somebody that does like penguin. There's a guy that dresses up like a penguin and does like penguin suit dances and stuff. I'm trying to remember who it is. I think it was Heart Support. Did a raid on them many times. So we're playing Kind Words. Have you seen this game before? Not More? So I'm going to respond back to this one. If I can learn to type tonight. You can add cute little stickers. I don't know what that is, but it's cute. What is that, like a goldfish? A goldfish thing or something? Looks like you get more packages of stickers as the more you do more. See, look, there's like a pink one and a blue one and a green one. So imagine if we play more, that we'll get more cool stickers to play with. Wait, what's this? Oh, I haven't unlocked them yet. There was a little arrow there. I missed it. I must have added these since I played last, so we only have the red packet. Yep. That's pretty cute. And well, I'm about the coffee. We'll do coffee. I'm all about the coffee tonight. Are you sure you want to send this letter? Yeah, we'll send it. The little talking deer. I'm not sure how I feel about the little talking deer. A little weird. But I guess I don't know, the whole context for the game's a little strange, right? I knew you keep writing people. I'm sure they'll love this. Oh, hey, I discovered mid-century this morning. What's this business? I was a bit stressed about some things, but I put this on loop and watched it all over. Oh yeah, because they add more and more music as they make the game, right? They keep putting out more content. So we're gonna have the chill stuff. So the diagnosis explains so much about so many struggles I've faced in life. It is such a relief to find that there's a common thread, and I think it clears up a lot of confusion and gives me hope for a better future. Kick ass, man. That's awesome. So did you just find out that you're on that you have autism? You just found that out? Like today or within the last week and that's like, you see all like it reminds me of that there's been a couple scenes, what is it, when Scarlett Johansson's in that movie and she takes that chemical where it makes her mind suddenly start to operate at 100%, and the interconnectedness of all things and the network starts going all over the place. And you're like, Lucy, that's the one. Yeah. It's like now all of a sudden we've got Lucy happening. Like, oh my gosh, that totally makes sense. Click, 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 click. I remembered when I was 4, this thing happened that if I was 10 days ago. Okay, cool. Well, 10 days ago for a monumental, potentially life-changing event. Still very significant. So you feel overall pretty good about it then. So I had a weird day. I made progress and went outside despite my anxiety. Cool. But I'm also sad because I hurt a friend of mine with my behavior and I don't know how to make it better again. He says he will stay away from me as long as he doesn't know how to handle to it. Oh, sorry, I'm on the box. My bad. That's what I was trying to do. I was reading that to myself. I was just prepping for the rest of the things. How are you doing, Not More? Anything happening for you? How was your Monday? Are you doing the Monday through Friday rotation? How would I respond to that? I had a weird day, made progress, and went outside with my anxiety. Kudos for taking a step outside and conquering. How do you spell conquering? Is that right? Your anxiety. I'm not the best speller person, but I am also sad because I hurt a friend of mine. Nah, I don't want to say that. I'm going to say sometimes harming others teaches us something. It does, though, I mean, right? Having your friend. You started a new psychologist and it seems like we're going to be a great fit. That's really cool. Nice. When you say great fit, what does that mean for you as a psychologist? As a client for a psychologist, what makes that psychologist a good fit for you? I was reading that to myself. So that's what people say about LSD, but I never really tried drugs. So that's another thing about autism. Autistic people tend to avoid unusual experiences because they like sameness, patterns, right? Typically, right? I think that explains why I never really had a desire for drugs or alcohol. Fair. So again, you're looking back on your earlier life experiences. You're 21, right? Did you see that? You're 21. And at this point in your life, you're wondering why I didn't do that stuff. And now it's all making sense. Sticker. Happy jellyfish birthday thing. My last psychologist was like that. Oh, wait. Well, she's only my second one you've seen. Okay. But she's actually seemed to care and let me talk to them. Yeah. Like she was interested in what I had to say. She didn't have the feeling that she wanted to get it over with so she could move on to the next person. Isn't that important? I mean, we want to be a part of a treatment team or with a provider that makes us feel like we're welcome and that can help us to be in a safe place and feel valued with both our life, but the things that we're saying too. You know, when you go and you see like your medical doctor and your medical doctor is, okay, I've got 5 minutes. I've got 5 minutes for you. And then I have to rush over to this next client. Or no, they don't say that, but it feels like it. You sit down with them, I've got 5 minutes, and they hardly even make eye contact with you. You know what I'm saying? That is the most frustrating thing for me. I've been at the table with, I'll take a group home resident in for a medical appointment, and the psychiatrist won't even turn to look at the client. They'll just sit there and type on the computer. And I'm like, okay, peace, belt out. It irritates the hell out of me. Don't like it one bit. So that's valuable to me too. I'm with you. Any fellow anime lovers out there? I love the horror gore genre, so my therapist actually graduated from Berkeley. What? No, never heard of it. It's a pretty good school, I think. Sometimes. You know, we were there, was it the 9/11, right? Yeah, we were there at 9/11, and remember Berkeley was supposed to be this gigantic political school, right? With so much cool stuff, activism happening and stuff, and then when 9/11 hit, they didn't even cancel school. They made us all go to school still. I'm like, oh, man. Okay, my wife had to go to school. I didn't have class that day. But just... Yeah. Anyway. She signed you up for something. Care gene something that will test my DNA. Yeah, the gene swab. Nice. And give me a somewhat better idea of the meds we should start with. Yup. It's cool. That's a good way to do it. Because you can also look at if you know your parents and if you know if your parents have taken anything. Typically, if they're taking a medication, let's say, I'm drawing a blank all of a sudden. Wellbutrin. Okay, so let's say your parents are taking Wellbutrin, or your mom or your dad might be taking Wellbutrin, then you could then take Wellbutrin and think that would be successful for you too, because you're genetically, the combination of your mother and your father. Another way of doing it is getting the gene swab test, and they see what medications your DNA, your body metabolizes better by doing the gene swab test. So it's an awesome thing. Not all providers provide that, by the way. Not all medical clinics provide that. It's hard. I've heard parents really struggle to find people that are willing to do it because some people struggle with the efficacy of it. He thinks it gives clients too much of an expectation about him. Yeah, I could see that. I certainly threw that around when I was going into grad school. Like, oh, I went to Berkeley. You want me in your school. And I think it did even when I was getting into jobs too. People throw it around. But I don't know about clinically. Do you think it does? Did it give you a higher expectation of your clinician, of your therapist, knowing that they went to Berkeley? Any fellow anime lovers out there? I love the horror gore genre, but I've seen a lot of popular ones already, like Blood-C and any underrated anime. I'm gonna skip it. I'm an anime fan, but not super hardcore. Health is failing. Need a glaucoma test because of eye nerves, and now my ear is grinding noise due to severe TMJ. All this alongside an autoimmune disease that the doc can't get under control. I'm nervous, anxious, and I'm full of worry. Please send me some kind words. I want that one. I don't think it really matters because it doesn't have an online profile, so the only one it is by asking him. Oh, why'd you ask? What made you ask? That sounds hard. I like it. Now my ear has grinding noise due to severe TMJ, and all of these alongside an autoimmune disease that the doc can't get under control. Fair. See, now you can throw back onto that. Now that you've got the diagnosis, you can say, I have autism. I ask all the questions. I know these things. When I was working in the hospital setting, I always heard the expression of, if you know one person with autism, then you know one person with autism, because everybody's so incredibly different, but there's still a lot of variables that could be similar between the pairs, between them all, like the liking structure thing. When you were working with the children on the spectrum, sweetie, what would you say would be the similarity? Sorry, I'm asking my wife a question. She worked with children on the autism spectrum for a while. Oh, well, when I'm not talking about our son, because my son is on the spectrum. This has been diagnosed with autism. But I'm talking about when you were working with the kids in that one treatment center thing. Tactile and like repetitive movements. Difficulty understanding social expectations and social expression. No, because the kids were like, how old? Preschool? Yeah. She did start you on something, amitriptyline, yeah. Hopefully it's not something else that will keep me on because of the headaches, rapid heartbeat, and drunkenness I feel the next day. Amitriptyline. I've heard the name. I'm trying to remember what it is. Antidepressant and nerve pain medication. Relieve anxiety and tension and help you sleep better. Increase your energy level. The medication belongs to a class of medication called tricyclic antidepressants. It works by affecting the balance of certain natural chemicals, neurotransmitters such as serotonin in the brain. Cool. So you're finding that you have a hangover the next day? How long have you been taking it? Not more. I always knew that I had trouble with physical contact, so the tactile, but I never knew that this was common until I found out about that as a symptom of the autism. Now it really makes sense and is comforting to know that others have similar situations. Isn't that great to know that you've got this kind of crew? Yeah, I can see that. How long have you been on the medicine? Not more, because sometimes those medicines, the headaches and stuff will abate. They'll go away with a little bit of time. They take some time, but once your body develops some kind of what's the word? You develop a certain therapeutic dose within your body, the headaches would start to go away. Yeah, they will calm down. I think it's like most of the time on those, it's like 3 to 6 weeks. I mean, if they're like way headaches, migraines, causing vomiting, all that kind of stuff, then that might be something to talk to them about. Oh, yeah. Well, it's prescribed for the antidepressants? Or what did they prescribe it for? For sleep. Oh, okay. You have do you have symptoms of depression as well? Why would they prescribe that for sleep if not something as simple as like, hey, take melatonin instead of doing this? Pretty heavy. Hey, Aqua. You quit. You quit therapy. Too intense. Oh, it can be. Is that so did you quit because you just went today for the first time, right? Or are you talking about something else? Different time. All right. I don't want to be a generic. Ambien to Ambien XR, and then Sonata and Seroquel. Wow. I like you, doctor, to be my therapist. I do live in the Twin Cities. I do. Yep. I'll send you some stuff off stream. How's that sound? Yeah, let me think on that. Yeah, let me think on that. Underscore, if you're still out there, I appreciate you coming in and sharing all that stuff. That's super awesome. Cool stuff. What? Oh, and trazodone. So you were on some pretty heavy stuff then. Yeah. Well, Ambien XR, Seroquel, Sonata, Seroquel. Doesn't Seroquel come in an XR? She didn't give you the XR for the Seroquel? True, you take it at bedtime and then it supposedly goes away. Did you get the headaches from the Seroquel too? Like the hangover from taking the Seroquel? I know a lot of people do. Seroquel hangover headaches. Stomach issue and the headaches from Seroquel. I think my fear comes from fear of being molested because of your past traumas. Okay, so is it the past traumas are coming through in your therapy? Because you just did your first therapy session was today, right? Because it's the 26th. If you were with the therapist and they were opening that can of worms on the first day, like, let's talk about this stuff, then I would say don't go back to that therapist. Because that's not smart. Some people theorize being sexually abused makes you become an abuser, but I don't believe in harming others. Yeah, no, I mean, so typically when I would do an intake with somebody is we would talk about, what's your history? Like, tell me more about you. Why are you here in therapy? What do you want to get out of therapy? What are your needs? And then let's talk a little bit about your history. Like, tell me about your mom and your dad and where you come from. Did you go to school? All that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that is automated. It is automated. You're right. I need to rename my bots. I had them named something like Dr. D Orderly or something initially when I first started streaming. And then what happens is you have to re-register the names or re-register the bot. And I just didn't, so anywho. It's an excuse for me. So what I'm trying to get at, Aqua, is that if that therapist was opening up that can of worms and like poking in right away, then they're probably not the therapist that you would want, because that's not very trauma informed. Trauma informed is kind of code word for therapist speak or anybody who works in the trauma field to know that. Why the hell would you poke a bear like that when you don't know the person? You should be sensitive to their needs and not be digging around and all that stuff, because you don't know how the person is going to react. If I'm poking that stuff, then you could go and do something to harm yourself. If I don't know you, you don't have the right supports. And I'm just getting at, it didn't sound like they were a very good therapist if that happened to you today, and I'm sorry if it did. All right. Sorry I'm having so many troubles. That sounds super tough for sure. You are so resigned to be pushing through all that stuff. And it sounds like it's perfectly normal to be. Full of worry, please send kind words. No, I've heard that one before too. Hurt people hurt people. I'm hopeful that the medical team will take you through journey, grace, compassion. Expertise. And the expertise needed to help. How about a giant T-bone steak? Because why? I mean, who doesn't want a nice big T-bone steak for compassion? Is resilient more than therapist speak? Okay, wait, let me scroll up, because I would never do anything like that happen to me. Yeah. She was a bit poking around, but she also said goodbye very annoyingly. Is resilient therapist speak? No, I don't think of it as therapist speak. I think that's just people speak. But again, this is coming from a therapist, so in my mind, it's like I think of resiliency too as like your hands developing calluses over time. You're chopping wood, you're doing some hard manual labor, and in a way, life is kind of hard manual labor. We're sacrificing every day to do something, to build ourselves, to build our house, the house being ourselves. And then your hands develop those calluses. And your resiliency is going to be developed through constant exposure to those things. I don't know. That's how I use the word. Everybody is different. No, and that's an interesting point too. I mean, there's a cultural consideration for resiliency too. So I mean, like you take somebody, I think of refugees like fleeing, war-torn areas and coming from, drug places down in Central America, and they're fleeing to the United States and all of the horrible things that they go through. And then, or, just people develop resiliency, but there's a cultural context around resiliency too, because like if I've come up in that environment and that's the only thing that I know, then you're not resilient. This is just who you are. This is just what you've been through. So it's an interesting context. But I mean, like you as in being in general you, let's say, and I speak you as like the general context from my worldview, which is very limited, than somebody who has a roof over their head, somebody who happens to have food on the table, somebody who is, very privileged in all the things that I have, etc., etc. Different level of resiliency for each person. Going back to the trauma piece too, because I think that, and resiliency is about trauma, could be about trauma. If you've been through a horrible experience in your life, your experience is your experience. How did you persevere? So that's another thing. The trauma, hold on, let me see. Trauma, what's it called? ACEs. You guys ever taken the ACEs test? You know what ACEs are? So the ACEs was a study done by Kaiser Permanente back in I want to say it was 1989, and they took a fairly large sample size in my mind, and they had this questionnaire that basically asked people about their history, and then they were able to show that through the questionnaire and on a longitudinal study, and my wife's going to step in a minute because she's a researcher, this longitudinal study where they would basically say over time they were able to analyze certain factors on the questions, certain factors on that questionnaire that demonstrated that people would be more likely to suffer ill effects in their life. So they might be more predisposed to drug addiction. They might be predisposed to drug dangerous behaviors, have a shorter lifespan, stuff like that, based off of the people that have responded to this survey. So it's a large sample size, stuff like that. It doesn't matter the sample size as long as you get proper representation. It matters the sample size, but you don't have to have a huge sample size. J. Kemp's pop it in. Resilient is kind of half and half. I'm a certified peer specialist who types very slow. Yes. So J. Kim, if you guys don't know what a peer support specialist is, it's a really cool role. Peer support specialist. It's like one of my favorite jobs. If I were not a therapist, I dig that. So yeah, if you're curious what a peer support specialist is, JKM can probably answer it, but it'll take her a while to chat to post it up. So everyone who has ever killed themselves has gone through a lot. I love that. That's the first A I've gotten in years. Sweet. I aced it. Let me read that underscore. Everyone who has ever killed themselves has gone through a lot. They don't just touch that on the first day when they start feeling bad. And in theory, they have all, by definition, gone through worse life than I have. But then again, as an autistic person, I avoid unfamiliar experiences. And killing myself is unfamiliar because I've never tried it before. So maybe I'm actually internalizing more stress than more people who've killed themselves. Could be. I mean, I don't know. J. Kim, you got a comment to that one? To me, it feels like the reason I posted the ACEs thing is that it gives you a guide on like, hey, I went through all these things, and it gives you a score, kind of like having gives you a diagnosis, not a diagnosis, but it gives you a score to know that, hey, this makes sense. My parents were abusive, and this might have been something that I've gone through, so therefore I'm doing these things, and it might not have clicked that I have had this experience in my life. Therefore, I am more predisposed to doing these things. Cool. Again, resiliency. You're not necessarily predisposed, but statistically speaking, based off of this survey or this study, you are more likely to. Does that make sense? And everybody is unique in their own sense too. So like it gives you, just like a diagnosis might give you a certain set of principles that guide you to a diagnosis, not a principle, sorry, a certain set of conditions that guide you towards a set diagnosis. It does not necessarily mean that you are that diagnosis. It just means that you've been given that diagnosis. But everybody who has that diagnosis might come at it with different factors. So while it takes 6 to 8 months and a certain, lots of little adjustments in order to get a diagnosis of something, you still are going to be identifying certain symptoms that are showing you as having this thing, right? And you might have had a trauma history, but how did you handle that trauma history? You know, you can take 3 kids in the same household. I all came up with almost identical trauma, and they all take different paths in life. They might not have all gone through therapy. One of them might have gone through therapy. One of them might have ended up in the hospital a lot. One of them might have attempted suicide multiple times. One of them might have become a, 6-figure, 7-figure making business person because I don't know. I'm just saying, just because you've got this thing doesn't necessarily mean that you're pigeonholed into this thing either. Yeah, that's the good stuff. The question was, I wanted you to read what underscore had said and see if you could glean anything from that. The idea that trauma and resiliency, and then how everybody is individual in their own path. So that's my take on mental health too, is that everybody has their own path to recovery. Everybody has their own path to mental health. As long as you're not harming yourself, you're not harming other people, how can we navigate that path of mental health together? You know, and so in the stream, for those of you that have been to the stream often, I consider a stream as being milieu therapy. So those of us that are in here can provide support to one another. We have a shared experience, that being the stream. We have an experience of being in the stream together to be able to offer feedback about things that we might have gone through. So while I am a therapist, I'm not necessarily your therapist, but I am a mental health professional who's willing to offer support, feedback, kind of guidance towards a certain path. But you all are the experts in your own lives. I'm not going to tell you, hey, you have a traumatic past. You know what I'm saying? That's not my job. Are you identifying it as being traumatic? Then I'm going to help you to identify why that's traumatic for you and figure out how we can help it. Very Dabba. Thank you, sir. What's up, Mr. Gecko? You still streaming, Gecko? I'll give you a shout out. As I get older, I'm forgetting all the details of my trauma. Like I'm living my best life, I guess, and slowly the pain goes away. And that's cool. I've been seeing a lot of, because I'm a member of like a lot of social media trauma support groups and stuff, and there's a lot of things that like unresolved trauma might present as. You still technically do so. All right, well, so those of you guys that will shout out to Gecko then, because Gecko is a therapist as well. And you were playing League of Legends. Oh, I remember who was commenting on that. Was that my daddy was talking about that? Like the most toxic community you could be a part of is League of Legends, because it's so incredibly toxic. What was I gonna say? Unresolved trauma can appear as, you know, lots of things. I'm trying to remember what the meme was I saw. I'm a person who has been there on both sides, and she's very good at it. We already kind of moved on, but yeah, you can. Could be my milieu. Come here. Come here. Oh. So Dr. Aronal says, our personal experiences are more than just statistics. Just because a study says that we might be predispositioned to a thing doesn't mean that we actually are going to experience that thing. Did you guys catch that? Just because a study states that you might be predisposed to a thing does not mean that you are going to experience that thing. Just because a study says that I might be... My brain has stopped functioning. What's up with that? Like, she blew my brain. Oh, it's not the first time she's hurt my brain. Hold on. Go back to it. It's just a risk factor, not a yeah. It's just a risk factor, not or a non-binary probability. Yeah, right. I'm going to post this in Discord, by the way, Aqua, Unresolved Trauma. So you can look at this article if you'd like to. Put it in the Mental Health Resources tab. So it just talks a little bit about like what unresolved trauma looks like. So if you're moving on and you feel like it's not hitting you now, cool. You feel like you're happier and you don't necessarily need therapy, cool. But with your diagnosis that you told me about was doing biochemical problems, and I don't think I have that bad of a biochemical towards my trauma. Two different factors, right? One can contribute to the other. Your trauma certainly contributed to your biochemical, because studies have shown that trauma physically alters the structure of the brain. So significant enough trauma over a repeated amount of time will physically change the structure of the brain, thereby making it so that you're more predisposed to thereby making it so you're more necessarily predisposed to certain behaviors in the future. Does that make sense? So repeated traumas can show that repeated traumas alter the structure of the brain in children. So therefore, if you experience this trauma when you were a child, your brain has developed around that trauma. She's a rebel. Talk about that, J. Kim. What do you mean you don't believe in studies? Because that's outside my forte. I'm gonna have a not Halloween party with my friends, and I'm so stoked. What are you stoked about? I'm stoked about a cotton candy machine for my not Halloween. Pew pew. Halloween party. I need a pumpkin. We don't have any pumpkins for Halloween. How about the funky blowfish thing? Thank you, little dear. Rush that away. They box you in. Experienced trauma at age 3, and it does seem like everything resolved around being oh, okay. So that's the hypervigilance of something, right? That's one of the unresolved things of trauma, is that you have a constant state of hypervigilance. But knowing that you're hypervigilant, knowing that you were exposed to this in the past, helps you to become aware of your hypervigilance, therefore resolving it. But again, if you went to see a new therapist today and that's the first thing they started poking at, probably not a very good therapist. At age 3, and it does seem like everything resolved. Yeah. How does a study box you in? So I'm going to read this card now. This letter from the ether. Yeah, that's one of the things that hypervigilance is something that picks, like it says, I mean, I know that, but I need a list to show me. Missing or losing time, flashback and nightmares, unreasonable attempts to rescue others, extreme fears that appear without reason, divisive black and white thinking, repeated panic attacks, being hypervigilant, constantly on edge, searching for threats, even in situations that are quite normal or warrant such behavior, inappropriate levels of self-blame or excessive survivor's guilt, difficulty with relationships and attachment, chronic suicidal thoughts, feelings of worthlessness and ongoing depression, high levels of conflict avoidance, eating disorders, and constantly feeling like a victim. Yeah. You are the master of your recovery. I do agree with that. So that's, I mean, we've talked about that personally, you and I, J. Kim, that diagnoses just give us, or symptoms frame and diagnoses give us a set of parameters to work within to provide support to the person. A study is going to give you a larger set of parameters with which to work in, so therefore we can provide support to a demographic that might necessarily need it. So in regards to like the ACEs study, you're able to say, all right, well, these, I don't remember how big, it was pretty big though. It was like no, I'm just saying the set of parameters gives you something to focus on to provide treatment to. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that one thing is going to be applicable across the board. Just like you and I are having a conversation about your depression. Well, your depression presents completely different as somebody else's depression. Your schizophrenia presents as something different from everybody else's. You might have certain parameters that help you, that cause you to have that diagnosis, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you are that thing, nor are you only going to be provided treatment because in the same way that I might be providing treatment to somebody else. There's no cookie cutter, there's no specific way that's going to be able to provide treatment to everybody with that diagnosis. Not what a study says you are likely to be. Yeah. Well, that's why it's that just because you're predisposed to it because of this thing doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get it. I think that's what my significant other was getting at. You are right. So this person says, I had a mental breakdown today. I was so close to killing myself, I just wanted to swallow the pills or drink too much. I wanted to disappear. Why am I so broken? I'm on meds and I just feel worse. Why can't I save myself? This is a big one. How should we respond to this one, team? I'm tapping you, clinical team. Tell me what we should write. V. Like we're writing a letter to go to this person. What should we say? Today I was so close. I wanted to swallow the pills or drink too much. I wanted to disappear. Why am I so broken? I'm on meds and I just feel worse. Why can't I save myself? Why can't I save myself? Why? I think the answer is that she can save herself. But, I mean, there's so many questions I have, like, how long have you been taking the medications? You want to disappear. I think I feel that way sometimes too. How about you guys? Do you guys ever feel that way? I don't drink because I don't want to pee later, but I'm not sure what to tell V here because I'm not sure that would help. I don't know if that would help, the whole pee thing, but I don't want to drink. I don't want to drink. All right. Something kept you here. Can you guys see that? Yeah, you can. Okay. I'm going to say I don't want, because it just for the fluidity of the statement, I don't want you to disappear. That's certain. Sometimes that step forward is monumental, monumentally weighed down by the burdens of the past. PTSD, not OCD. Well, that would make sense, given the trauma. I don't know how old you are, but sometimes that step forward is monumentally weighed down by the burdens of the past. So that step forward would be the saving myself. I'll put that in quotes. What was that expression? You've had X number of years to develop these bad behaviors. It's going to take a little bit of time to work past them. Well, coming to that giant realization all of a sudden, Aqua, it makes you feel good. I don't know. What do you guys think? So she says, I'm assuming it's a she. No, I'm just going to say they, the non-gender binary here. I had a mental breakdown today. I was so close to killing myself. I just wanted to swallow the pills or drink too much, and I want to disappear. Why am I so broken? I'm on meds, and I just want to feel worse. I just feel worse. Why can't I save myself? Okay. So we say, or I say, tell me if I should say something different, please. V, something kept you here. What was it? I don't want you to disappear. Probably should delete that comma, huh? Yeah. And that's certain. I don't know how old you are, but sometimes that step forward, saving myself, is monumentally weighed down by the burdens of the past. Breaking free of those burdens will take time and work, as will the medications. You are strong. You've made it here, and I appreciate that. You are valued and bring something to this world. I have read that autistic people often have communication difficulties in traditional talk therapy. Most therapists choose the job because they are great at reading and interpreting cues, but autistic people are the opposite end of the social cue spectrum. Yeah. Other forms of therapy, like art-based therapy, have also shown results. Yep. Art-based therapy, play therapy can be super helpful because it doesn't necessarily agree. You're not necessarily using a lot of those same social cues that you would be. That's a really good point. _ Yep. I've used a lot of creative therapies when I was working with children on the spectrum. I don't imagine adults would be much different, but you could do immersive therapy to allow more expression. So more of like I want to say, it sounds silly, but like Minecraft play, Dungeons and Dragons play, things that allow the person to kind of set free of their normal social bonds and then allow processing of those things. I've used role play therapy with kids before, and that's not the technical expression for it, but I've used like Dungeons and Dragons of sort, where we create a character that you get to play and the mentality, and then we talk about where that person is doing the things, or your character is doing those things. And it's pretty helpful. You're valued and bring something to this world. Do you guys like what I said there, or should I say something different? Should we move on to the next one? We found some pretty heavy ones so far. We keep it? Yeah, a sticker. My coffee. I like the coffee cups. I need to change the music too. I'm getting repetitive. Change it. We got to get out the letter first. Or we're going to send it. I'm sending it. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, letter. Bye-bye. Pasta. Thanks, dear. Hello again, 8-year man. Thank you all. You have been very helpful and helped through a lot of this past month. Nice. All right, back. I'm gonna change the tunes because I think you can click on the radio. There we go. Next, copacetic. J. Kim likes it. I like this has background music. I don't have to find anything. All right. Ooh, that's a good one. That's not really my forte, but what do you guys think? My family always praised my intelligence. I was always in advanced classes. I'm in university, but I want to change program. I have to train in something new. I didn't learn to work, so I have a hard time. Any tricks for motivation and healthy work routine? What do you think about that? That's not really my thing, but D&D or other therapy, how does play help you to achieve that goal? So sometimes the anxieties that come with just operating a normal stuff. All right, so when you're working with somebody who doesn't necessarily know how to respond to social cues, being in an environment that is completely free of all social cues, i.e. just imagination, allows them to just express. So like if you're no longer _clowns, you are now Ragnar, level 5 barbarian, and you make up some dramatic story about Ragnar, right? And you can come up with whatever creativity you want to if you want to. Or I could assign you a role and you could tell me why not that might not meet your needs. And that it allows just a venue for us to have an expression, have a discussion about how your needs are being met. And then through the state of play, it allows us to explore why you choose to use those dynamics. And then so as the game master, have you played Dungeons and Dragons before? As the game master, I would maybe pitch circumstances to you to address the therapy's purpose. So if you have you might be coming to me for therapy because you were bullied by another kid and you were having a lot of emotional regulation. That's true. That's hey, You might be being bullied by somebody at your workplace, or you might be being bullied by somebody at your school, and so then I would possibly pitch you against somebody in the fantasy world that would help us to address that thing. Yeah, the anonymity piece of this, right? I mean, your real name is not _clowns. How did you pick your name, by the way, _clowns? Did you know that I have a fear of clowns? My family always praised my intelligence. What should we do? All right, this is W. W. Consistency. Consistency. Finding a schedule. Sticking to it. I didn't learn to work, so I have a hard time. What is that, like 70? What's that thing you do? Like do something new 72 times or something, and it develops a habit. How it goes? Why do you got to shoot me in the foot? All right. Well, having consistency is going to help through developing a routine. Is going to develop habit. All right. So we're gonna go with that, despite what my wife says. Basically, pick 2 random English words and you get a good username. Yeah, that's true. All right. Through repetition. I can't spell it. Repetition. No, it's repetition, right? Through repetition, you will develop it. And eventually, the skills you need to succeed at your new discipline. So I have to train in something new, and I didn't learn to work, so I have a hard time. Any tricks for motivation and healthy work routine? What are the tricks for a healthy work routine? Motivation is going to be hard. So motivation would be Did I spell it wrong? D-I-S. Thank you. D-I-S. D-I-S-C-I. Feel it. Thank you. Remember when I first worked, what helps was just being cliche. Saying hi and you're welcome and positive attitude. I'll make room for that. You need to see your new discipline. Reading motivation. Find something about that you like and focus. Maintaining positive attitude. Liking. It becomes more doable. Does that sound right, Aqua? Consistency is key, finding a schedule that works for you and sticking to it. Through repetition, you'll develop habit and eventually the skills you need to succeed at your new discipline. Regarding motivation, find something about the tasks that you like and focus on those. Maintaining positive attitude, liking the space, say hi to people, be friendly, and eventually it will become more doable. That's tough, though. It will become more doable. We'll do the little space guy. I don't even know what it is. Soldier dude? He's got like gloves on and stuff and a bandana. All right, we'll just go. All right, we'll do that one. What do we got next here? Wonder when I'm gonna get a new song. Ooh, this one's good for me. I have a hard time, I'm guessing, doing something as a hobby that implies work. I never learned to work a purpose in life. My boyfriend is a big fan of D&D. What is up with this? Is this person watching the stream right now? I feel like I don't do that for myself. So he makes stories up and work a lot of play. I feel like I won't do that for myself. Huh. So there's I'd heard that the different learning styles thing is kind of cool. Yeah, it's fun. There was originally the thought that people learned in different ways. You gonna say something? Yeah. So there's different ways to, kind of like we were talking about earlier, how there's different ways that we all cope with our mental illness. There's different ways that our mental illness might be given a label, right? We all come in with a certain set of symptoms, which allows the provider to provide a diagnosis, which allows them to provide billing to insurance and therefore give you treatment, etc. Work is much the same way. You have to find a creative space or a way for you to be able to finish your work. So if that means that you've identified a space for you to do your work, setting aside a clearing in your room, setting aside a clear workspace with all of your little doohickeys like labels and highlighters and all that stuff. If you're the person that likes to make immaculate lists with color coding and all that kind of jazz, if that's what you do, I'm not making fun of my wife, but she thinks I am. All of these little things, whatever helps you, do you. If it helps you get your stuff done, right? So this person says that their boyfriend is really good at making up little stories and things that helps them get their needs met for stuff. Well, how do you do it? How do you guys do it? Aqua, how do you make it through the day when you're doing work, you're going to school, you're doing housework, you're doing stuff like that? How do you make it? Underscore, how do you do it? JCam, how do you do it? I think everybody's different. Like myself, I used to manage a kitchen, believe it or not, and I used to have tasks of like little checklists. And the checklists were very satisfying for me to have to say, oh look, I got all the meat prepped. Oh look, I got all the salads done. Oh look, I got all this stuff done, and it felt good to do that. And so that carries over for me now a little bit. But how about you guys? How do you manage? What do you do? I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough stuff. I'm just checking my tabs. Make sure I'm not missing anything here. No calls on the voice line. No messages on the Discords. Wait, did get a message on Discord. That sounds horrible, Aqua. I'm sorry. Let me see. Pick two randomly. I got that. Discipline. When I remember when you first worked, what helped me was just being cliche. Yeah, I read that. Now I don't have any water left at home and I'm looking to order water on Uber Eats. What? You make it through the day by being myself and letting the day unfold myself. Do you not have running water, or are you looking, you mean you just don't trust drinking the water at home, so you order water? Let's see. 62 hours in the last 8 days, so the way that I've managed lately is by not worrying about anything other than work. What do you do for a living? Underscore. You into computers? Like, that sounds like an IT thing. That's a lot. All right, well, we're going to do that reply. We want to drink the city water in this area. Okay. Let's see. So I like that way of tackling the day. Take it moment by moment and let the day unfold before you. Manage the highest priority tasks first. Things that, well, I mean, you need to assign deadlines. Things that may be critical. Okay. Nice. Yeah, that works. Yeah, stay busy and get rich. That's right. Things that may be critical and things that aren't. sticker. What should we put? I'm really keen. Oh, we haven't used that one yet tonight. Let's do that. What is that? Like a, not a koala? The thing is, it's cute. Whatever it is, let's keep it. I want more stickers. How come I don't get all the fun sticker packs? I'm feeling like this game is just being mean. You're being mean, Mr. Game. Oh, what? Wait. Look at, what happened? I changed my room to green. How did I do that? What is this? This is fun. Airplanes? The stickers come floating through the air. That's kind of cool. My nephew just watched over this machine at his workplace, and when it breaks, you just go talk to it. Easier than McDonald's. Well, that's sounds like network administration. Twinkles. Learn from your mistakes, but don't feel bad about them. You made them for a reason. I want like a few. I want like all of the things. Make them go fast. Let's see. Lots of sprinkle. Lots of. You're the most beautiful person that I will ever meet. Met. What is this? Be who you want to be. These are like little positive messages just floating through the ether. All right. Rock the day. Hold up. We're going to change the color. The green's kind of hurting my head. Room. Aw, this is kind of cute, guys. Look at this. Never be afraid of talking to someone about your problems. There will always be... Wait, I want to see it. Keep moving forward. You can't go back, so move with confidence. I can't read that fast. I'm surrounded by love, and I hope I'm... You have beautiful hair. Thank you, I do. Hug number 3003. All right, wow. Let's go back. That's cool. All right. How many requests? I mean, how does it keep coming? We can decorate. But I don't have anything I want. Oh, wait, I can't decorate the green. That's called a trouser fish. That's kind of provocative, isn't it? This is Captain Astronaut. The Captain Astronaut doesn't look anything like his doll. Mug, and then blobfish. I like the blobfish. Or the algae relic from a long day. Looks like a T-bone steak to me. I mean, to be fair, look at that thing. What's this? Kitten plunk. Winged kittens. Why are they not a thing? Imagine all the stuff that the cats would knock off shelves if there were winged kittens. To be fair. Drooper. May periodically eject pieces of meat or worse. Gross. Maybe Volume 2 and Volume 3 aren't out yet, so we can't get them. Alright. I already decorated everything I can in my room. Why is my guy purple? Can I change the way my dude looks? You do? Does anybody know if you can change the way your characters look? We need to make it look pretty. Yes, it does. Wait, did we just cut to the title screen? No. You guys want to play a game together? I've been doing this for a while now. Maybe do one more and then we can play like marbles on stream or something. Have you worked fast food before? Because it's seriously hard. Yeah, no, it's a hard job. I keep getting reminded of my past suicide attempts and I can't get the thoughts out of my head. How do I stop thinking about this? I was doing better as of late. J. Kim, you still out there? This would be a good one for you. McDonald's is not an easy job. Yeah, one of my first jobs was in fast food, and I tell you what, being on your feet for, I don't know, I was young, so probably we were doing like 8-10 plus hour shifts of shoveling tacos. It was not a pleasant job. It was hard. Dishes and moving and no. And it gave me a good appreciation for hard workers too, because there was one guy there. I think he worked like 3 jobs, but he was the fastest taco maker. Just throw. Super quick. And He really worked hard. He said he had like 3 kids, and he had, he was the sole income earner for the house, and it's just lots of respect. How do you stop thinking about your past suicide attempts? Yeah. I mean, yes, 3 jobs, I think he was told me. 3 jobs, and he had a beater car, and I had mad respect for the guy. He was a really hard worker. Don't let the thoughts of what led you to attempt lead you to. What's that expression? The past is the past, the present, or the future is the future, and the present is the present. It's called the present for a reason because it's a gift. You heard that? Kind of like that. But change the past, move on. You can't let guilt run you from the past. Yep. They are the past, they happen, know that they did, and you survived. You learned from them and are now a better person. Don't let the thoughts of what led you to attempt lead you to another. You are past that. You can move on, but you can't change the past. You can't lie. You can't let your guilt run you from the past. Good one, Aqua. I dig it. All right. I get the floof. The flying kitty. Get the floof. The cute floof. You can count on me to deliver this letter. Tell me that deep, dark secret you just can't bear to tell even your closest friend. Friend, I won't judge. You're safe here. Ooh. I bet E must be a streamer and they want to read it on stream. I can see that. Next. Does anyone know where I can find someone to do a custom drawing for cheaper? Fiverr. Not cheap. Hit up. Or Reddit. Just churning through those letters super quick. Super quick. That's an easy one. What's a quality that you enjoy in people? It's a good icebreaker question. What's a quality that you enjoy in people? Honesty. Aqua _ if y'all are still out there, what do you think? What's a quality that you enjoy in people? Arrow, what's a quality you enjoy in people? Broken. You dropped your +10 axe. What? Okay, we're back to the D&D references. I dropped my +10 axe one time in an MMO. Okay, on accident, and someone picked it up. Woke up today feeling guilty and salty, even though it's been 10 years. I love it. I thought you were still talking about the Dungeons and Dragons stuff. So you're. Can we relate that to this question? What's the quality that you enjoy people? I like people who want to meet me a second time. Sweet. So you want people that feel, I would describe that maybe as being endearing, committed. No, endearing, committed. Is that the right word? Where they just feel like you can feel connected. I mean, you feel connected to them. So what's that? How would you describe that quality that you enjoy people? When I feel connected to them, when I feel like they understand me and they get me, maybe kind of thing. It's a good one. I like that. You dropped your plus 10. I'm gonna laugh about that. That's funny. My plus 10x. Yeah. What game was that? Plus 10x. That sounds like an EverQuest thing or a RuneScape thing. I don't know. All right, we can reply to this. What do we appreciate? People who are sincere and honest. People who value me and want to hang out. I enjoy people who have high esteem for themselves. People who are confident. Confident. Right? What is Fiesta? Was that game called Fiesta? Never heard of it before. Anybody else want to contribute to this? What's a quality that you enjoy in people? You want to add to it? People who are people who like Fiesta. I'm just razzing you, Aqua. You get a cup of coffee. A mug. Who in your life do you respect and why? Another good icebreaker question. Who do you respect and why? Oh boy. Appreciate teachers because they taught me how to spell. The weather is crazy in California. Yeah. The authorities are telling people to evacuate from Berkeley Hills because of the wildfires. You know what? They're really weird. The wildfires haven't even started yet. Wildflowers, I always say that. Yeah, a lot of my family's, not a lot of my family. Some of my family's still out in California, and I've been seeing that too. The weather reports are not good. My one of my cousins posted something on Facebook about that. Pretty bad. The wildflowers are not good. And that would, geez. I mean, the fires are ridiculous. We've seen, I mean, I'm in Minnesota, so I don't see it, but we get the pictures on TV and the pictures on the internet and stuff are just horrific. It's ridiculous. Wow, sweet. I like that. Respect those that are willing to better themselves. Physically, mentally, intellectually, to be around. Yeah, is that right? Pride, ooh. All right. How about you? Anybody else want to contribute to this one? Who in your life do you respect and why? I think teachers are one of those things that, one of those professions that really just don't get enough respect. It's a hard job. Especially when you have little hellions. Like kindergarten teachers? My goodness. That takes a special kind of person. Yeah, stay safe out there, underscore. It's brutal. I need to break that up. How to just respect them. Willing to better themselves. So that they can be around for the future. And those that need them. Minnesota handles the wildflower season without any mandatory evacuations. I love it. They don't even use flower breaks, flower fires, etc. I don't know. You have those words that your tongue just stumbles over. I exercise. Exercise is the one word I think I just cannot spell for the life of me. It's horrible. I've been trying to teach myself French, and I'm really bad at it. But I'm trying. It's tough. Yeah, we do handle the wildflower season very well here in Minnesota. Beautiful. Wildfires, we haven't had much of yet, but time will tell. Music is getting mighty repetitive in my ear here. You get a fish. You get a trouser fish. Uh-oh. Started crying at the stupidest things. Stupidest and simplest things. And it's not PMS. Just been pretty bummed lately for about 3 years. A little longer, maybe? I don't know. Ooh, exercise. See, are you showing off? S. I got the flower jokes. It was very clever. Thank you. I like that. And I don't know. Do you have any words that you stumble over? I don't know. That flower and fire, for some reason, my mouth just doesn't want to do it. My tongue gets tied. If you're old enough, you can see a. Did you guys know that? I think it's like 12 years old here in Minnesota. At least you can not have your parent in the room, and ask that all of your records are kept confidential from your parent. So if like a child is sexually active and they don't want their parent to know about it, they can ask for all of their documentation and stuff to be kept private. Legally. You can see a therapist without your parent present. That's a hurdle. 3 years is a long time to be bummed about something. Stuff, you know? I would mean like a large, especially if they're a teen, like you've just spent 3 years of your life miserable. I think I'd want to get some help. That's sad. Yeah, there are a lot of stories. Okay. You have the right to, as a clinician, we can disclose 3 things. If you intend on hurting yourself, if you intend on hurting somebody else, or if somebody else is hurting you. Anytime other than that, if a parent would ask me as a clinician, what did they say? I would speak in very general terms. I wouldn't say anything that would allude to what was, like, she's just struggling with some relationship stuff, I can't really say, but she's struggling with some relationship stuff, and that's about it. But if she would come to me and said, like, I'm really bummed, my boyfriend and I have been having sex and he doesn't, he's not telling me that he loves me or something, then if both were consenting, or if both were, it wasn't like a molestation or a rape thing happening, based on their report, then I wouldn't bring it to the parent. But yeah, it's a fine line to walk, and it's a hard line to walk. So yeah, I can see why some therapist would violate that. Yep. And I can put that too. I don't know how old this person is, but... And I have to state it in the shortest, because there's only 14 lines I get to respond. You know? Therapist can't share any details other than Oh, I deleted it. No. Whop! Hey, it fit. 13 lines. Sweet. Give him a sticker. You get the astronaut. It's a long time to be bummed about stuff. One might call that depression. If so, I recommend getting help with a counselor, a therapist, and seeing your doctor. If you're old enough, you can see a therapist with a parent present too. And if that's a hurdle, a therapist can't share any details other than threats to harm self, harm others, or if someone is hurting you. Ah, damn it! I gotta break that up. All right, good. It didn't adjust. Don't let your life be miserable. If you have the tools to help fix it. Much love. Works. Okay. Go, reindeer, go! Ooh. With Amy C. Barnett being sworn in, I'm terrified about losing my rights as a trans girl. I don't know how to keep my head up and stay positive. I feel so defeated. I just can't give up. I can't fight this anymore. I can't live in a world that doesn't want me. What do you think about that one? That's heavy. Because you have the court, and you know the biggest court in the United States, basically, potentially turning in favor of someone or turning against someone's identified gender. Not to mention all the other changes that could end up coming out of it. It would be like the president saying really horrible things and devaluing your existence. But now it's even worse because the Supreme Court is there permanently until death, right? Really shitty. Well, they can retire, but death or retirement, one of the two. How do you keep your head up on that one? That's tough. Think it's easier for me to stay in the closet? Yeah, I mean, if you're an openly trans person, or you're an openly, open gay, lesbian, blah, blah, LGBTQ, you're all of those things, right? And one of those things, whatever you identify as being, then those little variables, those things in society that you want to protect you, aren't protecting you. And you've got the courts that are against you, in theory, or if your own family is against you, and it's hard enough just to come out to your own family, but then when you've got the whole legal system that's stacked up against you too, I mean, it's horrible. So with that, how does one, how do you not feel defeated when the entire system is stacking against you? How do you work with that? I mean, my initial thought is, well, what I would do is that, I can't fight this anymore. I can't live in a world that doesn't want me. That's not true, right? It feels like the highest court in the land may not necessarily want you. Maybe. Stretch. Because A, she's not been completely confirmed, and B, you don't really know. She is confirmed. Okay, well, you don't know exactly what her political stance is going to be, though we can speculate. There's a certain level of, we need to not bite off more speculation on these things, because it could be a certain level of media hype that's driving a lot of it. However, it's undeniable that that a lot of society is not supportive of trans rights. So how can we feel that a world that doesn't want me? the world equals the large macro. It doesn't necessarily equal the micro. So finding those little microchasms, those little pieces of the universe that do identify and support you would be key. I think that would be the same thing as finding a community that supports your diagnoses. No, there are. And that's what I'm getting at, is like, there's social media groups that support it. There are, I mean, like in Berkeley, oh my God, there's groups all over the place for you to join whatever you want. There's people out there that will support you. So helping this person feel like, and I mean, again, we're looking at this from a larger, we're looking at this from our lens, right? I know like in Minneapolis or in the metro area where I live, there is a lot of supportive community around this. But if you were to go out into the more rural county, even in Berkeley, go out to the more rural Napa. Napa's not rural, but go to Napa, go to Lake County, go to any of those more rural counties up in Northern California, any of those counties that representative that voted red, that voted Republican, might be more slanted to not support trans LGBTQ rights, you know? You get outside the metro population, there's a lot of people that are just, you know, and that might be where M is from. M might be from rural Kansas or Oklahoma or any other of those Republican-controlled states where trans rights aren't a thing. So being able to provide them online resources, like knowing that just having a community online to be supportive for you would be huge. There are people out there that would be willing to provide support to you being who you are, because there are people out there that will love you. There are groups out there that love you for who you are. And it's really unfortunate that they feel this way. But that would be where I would come from on this. It's not necessarily a we're not looking at the macro, though it might seem like it's insurmountable. We're looking at the micro. Find the micro communities that are out there that would be able to be supportive for you. So let's say positive. So let's say M. An addiction. Oops. Man, my typing's gone to pot, hasn't it? So there are religious groups too that do support LGBTQ rights that are more supportive. That was redundant, sorry. There are religious groups that are supportive of LGBTQ rights. And again, those religious groups change depending on the area that you're in. So in a metropolitan area, you might see Catholic churches that are even more favored towards LGBTQ population. Christian churches that might be whatever. There's a large spectrum, it's a word for the night, of different faiths that provide support too. But again, if you get out into the rural communities, they're going to be slanted towards the population. I know like Unitarian Universalist congregations are very LGBTQ friendly. They provide support, resources, nurturing, caring environment, etc., etc. Oof. Ooh, rage. Okay. I need a heart emote. What do you think, Fluffer? Floofer. Do you not I know in Berkeley and whatnot, that's there's a lot of supportive groups out there, but do you not experience that in your? You might even see that too. Like you take like lower educated people because they don't have a lot of exposure to those groups. They might be more predisposed to fear of the other. Working in a warehouse job where people aren't necessarily educated, and again, I'm generalizing, may be more predisposed towards not supporting other. That's where a lot of that radicalization of militant groups comes from. Like you find these little things that you can pick apart and use those to interweave and rip apart the fabric of our identities and rip apart our ability to maintain the humanness between us. And those little pieces are going to kind of just wear it away. So only through open discourse with people who aren't exposed or may not have been as exposed to, or may not have as many friends, may not have as relatives, may not have blah, blah, blah. I mean, they could keep throwing it out there, but if they don't have the support around them, the people around them to see that these people are good people, they're not all child molesters and pedophiles, because that is sometimes what people say. Delaray, what's happening? How are you? I haven't seen you in forever. How you be? We are just talking about your area. As a matter of fact, _clowns is from the Berkeley area. We were just talking about, I was talking about the last letter that we were reviewing was from someone who was talking about Amy Coney Barrett being confirmed as a Supreme Court nominee and how they were feeling like being as a transgender female, that they weren't able to have any support from the courts, and they weren't able to have any supports from the government as a whole. Yeah, so anywho, not feeling recognized, not feeling loved. How can I be a part of this world when they don't love me? Kind of stuff. Been busy here, lovely. Yeah? What have you been busy doing? How are the kids? How's the hubby? Let's see. Can you still read it if I have it on that mode? Can you guys still read the cues? So they say, a few months ago I argued with a friend with whom I had a relationship for 3 years. We entered college the same year and we have been friends ever since. Everything was spoiled by a misunderstanding that made her arrive, which left me like a monster. What do you think? I don't understand. Do you guys get that? Because I don't understand it. A few months ago, I argued with a friend with whom I had a relationship. I'm gonna skip it. That's too much. All right. As an American, it is crucial I vote this year. Hubby is good. Linus is good. And in Illinois, is he going to school? What's he doing in Illinois? As an American, it is crucial I vote this year, but politics has been so ugly since I've been first eligible. I didn't vote last time. I'm struggling to find a reason to vote again, but to preserve our democracy. This is a duty. I'm so tired. Oh, you moved there. Why? Oh, your music did, or is mine too loud? I can turn it down. Why would anyone move to Illinois, especially from your area? Same thing, like, why would you move to Minnesota? Minus? Alright, thanks. I'm gonna try that. Better? Is that better? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Better. All right, cool. Better now. Thank you. All right. Well, yep. Thank you for keeping me on spot because I don't want my stuff to be too overwhelming. One sec. So you moved to Illinois. What's he doing over there? Working? I can hear you, but the music was really loud. He moved in for his girlfriend. Oh, okay. Cool. Nice. Well, good for him. That's awesome. So I read this earlier. So now I'm wondering, gosh, how much of my other stuff was totally overpowered by my music? Did it just suddenly get really loud or what? Maybe it was when I changed scenes. That might have been it, when I changed scenes. All right. As an American, it is crucial I vote this year. Have you guys voted? You USA peeps, have you voted out there? It is crucial I vote. He has a good job with benefits, and they are looking for a house together. Wow, that's great. Good for him. That's awesome. Is he still playing the WoWs? What's he doing now? Let's go back. Back. Someone sends their thanks for the letter you wrote, and I got a sticker. Look, I got a scarecrow. Great for scaring off large birds of prey. I love it. He has a good job. Put it in on occasion. Okay. And I got another sticker. Zeba. Yeah, we stuck ourselves in the own. I guess Zeba makes the game. That's cool. All right, let's turn down the music a little bit, because obviously it's too loud. Now can you guys hear me? Next. I'm sick of that song. We're gonna take this off. Eating my brain. It's eating my brain. The girl is doing college from home, and what are you playing? I'm playing a game, air quotes there, with it's called Kind Words, and it's really people can go in and submit messages that they want encouragement for. So it's like I can, let me see, I'll pull up one of these requests, right? So this is the one we just read. So American here, I really don't want to be in the States on election day. It's going to be a hot mess, and it's really depressing. Already voted and put in my volunteer hours and money, so you don't need to advise me to do that. I just don't want to be here. So folks will just send out a letter into the ether and just to make their thoughts known, right? You don't even have to offer support, but sometimes you'll get these ones that are like, I contemplated suicide tonight, or we've done like what, 10 of these things tonight, I think, and some of them are super heavy, some of them are just great conversation starters, just great ways for us to have a communication as a community. Communication as a community, discussion as a community. That's the word I'm looking for. Some days I just want to lie there for hours like the little avatar in this game does before moving to their desk. You know what I'm saying? So it's little things like that. And you get to pick which ones you want to respond to. So like we just read 3 of these. Yeah. So anyway, we'll respond to one in a second, but we can just touch base. We've been responding to these all night and just chatting as a community. So underscore says, many immigrants say that the biggest motivator in why they want to get U.S. citizenship is the ability to vote. So voting is important to many people, but if politicians have mistreated you and you haven't given you good reasons to vote, then you can't exercise your right to vote. Yeah, it's true. Yep. Well, I can see that. Then it would be for me. Well, I can't step outside of my bias, but from my personal stance, I would love to be able to vote in order to provide support to my peers. So if I was a migrant, and I earned my right to vote, I would want to support the candidate that would be best supportive of my peers. Who's gonna help provide support to my people best that I can. Like if Bernie Sanders' wife is a social worker, so I was all about Bernie because he was all about providing social work and social support and being all about that business. But as that's not the case anymore, I got to take the close second. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, D. It's all good. We've been playing this, and I've been trying to get back into the streaming thing. I took like 5 months off because it was I needed to take a time. That's why you have to do your research. Yep, you have to do your research. But I think not just doing your research, but having that conversation with your friends, talking about the things that are important to you. And like I was saying earlier, it could just be that one little microscopic thing that's used to tear at the fabric of our humanity. Like if we can put take that little thread tearer and rip the fabric apart, whatever that idea might be, that won't allow us to continually engage with one another because we're so scared of the reaction of the other. then we can't. So I think I was a guest on another mental health streamer stream 3 or 4 weeks ago now, and one of the questions was, how do you, what would be one thing that you'd want to tell everybody coming into the next year? And that would be one thing for mental health that you'd want to be coming in for the next year. And that would be, from my perspective, to be able to identify our shared humanity. And that even though we might not vote the same, and that you might feel like that the other people voting might be completely in contrast to what you want, that those people are people too, and that we have to find that shared humanity amongst people, amongst ourselves, and not let ourselves get so, our views get so distorted that it encourages us to, heaven forbid, pick up a gun and go shoot our neighbor because they voted for the other person. One ally brought up a great point. How would you try to convince homeless people to vote when housing is not on the ballot? Yep. True. So how would you convince a homeless person to vote? A person who is homeless. That's what I learned anyway. But how would you convince them? Then I would say, like, are we talking about affordable housing? Who's the one that supports the most social welfare programs? Who's the one that's going to help my kids get into the best schools when they know that I'm homeless? Who's the one that's going to help? But it requires goes back to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? We have to look at the things that are the most important to us and what's allowing us to succeed. So if I can't even put food on my table, if I don't have a roof over my head, if I can't provide for my kids, I don't have time to go in and investigate all of these different candidates on the ballot, do I? I mean, I barely have time to work. Like I was saying about that guy I was working with earlier when I was working in fast food. He was working 3 jobs, fast food, I don't know how many hours a week, in order to maintain his family. And he had a job, and he had a house, and he had a place to live, and he had 3 kids, and blah, blah, blah. But how are you going to be able to take the time to go and do what Delray says? That's where you have to do your research and who's up for election. Oftentimes we don't have the time. We don't have the energy because we're trying to just make ends meet. And that's where I think that dichotomy, that balance, there's that, what's that word? Divide between socioeconomic classes, because those that have can continue to have and continue to investigate and continue to invest in and continue to support the candidates that they want because they have the luxury of being able to provide the support to the candidates that best benefit them. Soapbox. In California, we vote only for the top 2 candidates. I'm still planning on voting for the less evil of the candidates, but I definitely sympathize with people who don't want to vote. Amen. Me too. Amen. Minnesota's the same thing. They need to have ranked choice voting, and they don't. But yeah, I agree. They don't. It'd be cool if they did, but they don't. It is going to be a hot mess, and I think that's, I don't want to be here on election day because, it's going to be an uber shitstorm, right? You could see it. There's don't trust the system. There's all the stuff that Trump's been saying about don't trust mail-in voting and all this kind of stuff. And it feels like they've been sowing the seeds of malcontent, of discontent, is that the word? Discontent in the system because they want to manifest their support later on. I'm going to start going off on a diatribe, but I won't. Anywho, I amen to that. Amen to that. That's what I'm going to say. Amen to that. Amen to that. Bunker down and find a safe space. Everything's good, D. I started the private practice gig. I don't know if you saw my Facebook thing. I started private practice a couple weeks ago. We're getting rolling, taking clients. Everything's good. Yeah. Well, I'm moving on to the next stage of my career, and I'm happy about that. And everything's good. Can't complain, man. Wants to meet on November 4th, but the office is downtown, and I'm like, the city is going to be crazy on November 4th. No kidding. What? Yeah. Yes, there's still snow. Yeah, there still is. It's supposed to be getting, what is it, like, somebody told me 50 degrees or something pretty soon. So I'm looking forward to that. Like, our fall just took a dump. I didn't even rake my leaves. Just took a dump. Yeah, snow's still here. Right, and then that's legit. You got some snow too? Yeah, the snow is I wasn't ready for it. Luckily I had winterized the house and went around and caulked all the joints and stuff, and it's a thing. I didn't want to. You know, like it's too soon, man. Like the last, I don't know, 5 years, snow doesn't come until November, but now we're like, what, we got 3 inches or something already? Weak. But you don't bitch about the snow if you live in Minnesota. You're here for a reason. You know what's going to happen. You just don't bitch. Just don't. This is just a thing. What are they at now? 60s? 70s? I do miss Berkeley's weather, Oakland's weather. It was gorgeous over there. 60s. 0 inches of snow thus far in the Bay Area. When is the last time it snowed over there, though? When was the last time? I don't think I ever remember it snowing in like San Francisco and Oakland. This music's kind of swanky, huh? What sticker? Oh, we got new stickers. Let's try them out. Ooh, the booby bat. Boo. I like that. He's working nights now? But why is he working nights? He should have seniority. What's up with that? Doesn't he? I mean, shouldn't he be able to say, all right, give the nights to that young pup, not for me? Oh, until he can really tear. Okay. There was snow on the peaks in the Diablo Range last March. Well, yeah, I suppose. That's the thing. Not at the UC, eh? All right. That's okay. He's a low man. Oh, because he did he quit the reserves? But working nights makes you want to retire sooner. Yeah, I mean, have you worked overnights before, underscore? Last time I worked overnights, I felt like I was going to die. But I'm not acclimated to it, you know? And I'm getting old. I'm like old now, D. I'm old. How long have we known each other now? Like 20 years or something? Stupid. Like 15? Yeah, we retired from the reserves and the city PD, so he's doing Berkeley's. Nice. All right. Well, there you go. There you go. Well, it's good to hear he's doing well. Does he like it okay? Is there a difference in police forces as far as like the cultures go, or is it still pretty much the same thing? All right, let's read this one. I'm worried about my boyfriend because he's going through a really rough patch. He's struggling mentally and I just want to help him. And I'm giving him the space he wants, but it hurts seeing him wither away. Any advice on how I can help him or let him know that I'm there for him? Underscore says, I worked a few overnight shifts cleaning machines that could kill you if they were turned on. Pretty trippy. Ooh, I've seen things like that in horror movies. Like the big industrial dryers and washers and stuff. He loves what he does and quiet nights. That's nice. Good. All right. Let's see. How can we help this person? Let's make this the last one because I'm going to have to head off here in a minute and we'll take it just kind of chill, relax for a little bit. Let's see. I'm worried my boyfriend is going through a rough patch. He's struggling mentally and I just want to help him. I'm giving him the space that he wants, but it hurts seeing him wither away. Any advice on how I can help him or let him know that I'm there for him? What do y'all think? P. It speaks well to your abilities that you are willing to give him space that he needs. It pains us as partners to not be able to help our significant others when we see them in pain. Sometimes pampering. So it pains us as partners to not be able to help our significant others when we see them in pain. That's natural. You likely know what he likes, and sometimes pampering can be helpful to get one to break out of those spirals. Spirals. What do we do? So, favorite breakfast, food, favorite drinks, music, etc. Just let him know that he is valued. Oh yeah, that's a big one too. Take him for a walk. Also, exercise. Did I spell it right that time? Did I spell it right underscore? That's my word. Treks into nature. That is your lifeline. Yeah, you do. You used to walk a lot, I remember. Do you still manage to do that? Aaron Donald got his 8th sack of the season today. So I should know who Aaron Donald is. I am not a sports guy. I think I'm like an abnormality here in Minnesota. I'm one of the few and far between who really just does not pay attention to sports. I just never have. I like playing sports, but watching sports has always been boring. Los Angeles Rams defensive tackle. Who was I surprised? Oh, the Raiders. That the Raiders had moved. I'm like, I noticed that because I lied. I do pay a little bit of attention, but like all of a sudden I'm like looking at the teams and I'm saying, wait, Raiders were in Oakland. Why did they move? Why did they move over? What happened? And I went and I checked, and sure enough, I'm like, they moved to Las Vegas? Why the hell did they move to Vegas? But I mean, how many sports teams does California have? It's a big state, so I mean, fair, right? It's just it's pretty damn tremendous. Like, why? Plus, I remember, and you guys might know this too. Like in Oakland, the Raiders fans were like belligerent, like wild men, wild people. Like they'd kill you if you didn't like their team. So I'm like, and then they just up and like ripped the fabric of Oakland apart because they didn't make enough money. It's like speaks to the capitalism of it all. Yeah. Pretty cool because he's only played 7 games and 8 sacks in a season. Normally sends you to the Pro Bowl, and he's already has 8. Whoa, sweet. Nice. Good for him. That's pretty cool. Oh, wait. Hey, I already, dude, I've already done that. What are we doing here? All right, peeps. All right. Let's do this. We'll do a request. I'm going to do that shared humanity thing I just talked about. That was a big news the last couple years. I have been watching Long Way Up with Ewan McGregor and Apple TV, and oh my God, so good. Wishing to be able to travel. I haven't really been watching sports since COVID started. I love the travel shows. There was another one with, what's his name? Zac Efron. It looked pretty cool too. Yeah. Traveling around the world and looking at like environmental impacts and how to provide support. And it's pretty neat. People telling me there are 49ers gangs and Raiders gangs here in the Bay Area. Some workplaces ban team sports attire because it can be a proxy of gang affiliation. I haven't seen that. I don't remember seeing that myself, but it wouldn't surprise me. Oh. Guess I'm not supposed to share usernames. Oops. Okay. What am I worried about? With the election looming in the USA, we are pulled apart for seemingly Despite. Oh, wait. Yeah, he's doing it on an electric motorcycle 15. Oh, yeah. Okay. I've never met anybody who said they were in a gang. Gangs are like teenage sex. Everybody talks about it. Nobody actually does it. But everybody likes to act like they know a lot about it because it sounds cool. Yeah. Different social circles, you and I. There was I grew up knowing quite a bit of peeps, and it's a dangerous world, that. All right, my friends, I'm going to need to get to bed. This morning, let's see. Let's go to just chatting. This morning, I had the pleasure of waking up to a house decorated with cake. Both, actually. And because my kids got up before me. So I know that if I wake up tomorrow morning before my children, there is less probability that my house will be trashed. Because my children the night before, or the day before, was that Sunday? Baked a cake. It was cut up nice and neat on the counter when we went to bed. And when I woke up the next morning, the cake was all but gone, but one small piece. And it was decorated all over the house. So Dee, I don't know if that ever happened to you, but as a mother, it was an interesting experience to wake up to. And so I'm hoping that similar experience does not happen tomorrow. So I'm going to make every endeavor to wake up before my children so they cannot destroy the house. So I'm going to need to get to bed. And yes, gangs and teenage sex, both of those things. Gangs, I didn't have a gang, but I had a crew. I had a crew of probably around 20, maybe 20, 25 peeps that were, we were the losers. We were the loners. Leather jackets, tattoos, makeup, piercings. Granted, that was the grungy days, and we caused a lot of chaos. We had our corner where we hung out, and we were the cool kids in our mind, but the rest of the school thought we were a bunch of losers. So we were a gang of sorts. We weren't the gang, but I knew a lot of people who were in gangs, like Crips and the Bloods and all those traditional things, and lots of gang violence and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I was there, man. I don't know if it's enough to be a gang, but we considered ourselves a little gang. We were a crew. I don't know if we considered it a gang, but I knew people that were in gangs. Yeah, for sure. Anyway, I got to get out. Thank you for hanging out for the whole stream, dude. You're fantastic. Thank you so much for doing that. And I'm happy that you've come to the realization now, having the diagnosis making you feel better, and you've got more people to, familiarize with and stuff. And I just had an airplane go through one of my decorations. That was a little weird. But I got to head out. Let's see who we can raid. Who do we have? How many peeps do we have on tonight? No, not that many, but we'll raid somebody. Let's see. I'm going to go over to Twitch, see if we can raid someone. Dr. Mick is usually on when I'm closing out. We can raid over to Dr. Mick. He is pretty awesome if you guys don't know him. My Daddy Can is still on. Mama Foxfire. Let's see. Yeah, looks like My Daddy Can's going to be logging out in just a minute, so we can raid over to him. I think he's logging out here in 30. But let's raid him. I haven't raided him in a long time. He's a cool dude. Who he's looking to raid to? What's he doing? Oh wait, is this you'll like this. This is cool. So every month he does he donates all of the bits that he accumulates for the entire month, and he awards them to some random mental health streamer. So it's pretty cool. So we're gonna raid My Daddy. And again, thanks for hanging out, everybody. I appreciate y'all being here, and I will catch you next time. Wednesday is my next targeted stream date, and we'll go from there. All right. Thanks again for hanging out. D for being there, and everybody else. Peace.
This is you, your soulmate here. brother? How are you doing, my friend? And everybody coming over from Dr. D's stream _clowns. How's it going? He's my doppelganger. Well, it's a she, so that could be too. That could be too. I started streaming back in February this year after needing to take a time off of work for both my physical and mental health. I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder, depression, and social anxiety disorder back in 2018. During this time, I decided that I needed to stop being afraid of trying new things, and so I started playing. I like this person. I like this person. How cool is it? How cool? Listen, how cool is it when you can go into a person's stream who struggles with some anxiety and stuff like that, and being like, "Hey, like we appreciate you. Like you're doing it. Like you showed up, man. And guess what? We're gonna reward you for showing up." Like how, like that's kind of a cool thing, right? Like that's a good thing. Had a fully friendly stream, no swearing. Yeah. Okay, so that, okay, I like that. I like what we're seeing there. Okay, let's I don't know what's going on here. Hold play. Okay, let's look at the next person here. Here is Lixie. Clinical anxiety and horror games. What could go wrong? Hey guys, I'm Lixie. Newer streamer. Always learning and improving. Please let me know if something's off. I'm candid about my mental health and have even succumbed to tears on stream. I love helping people and trying to make them smile. We'd love to have you in chat. Yo, Turber, what's up, my friend? Yo, thanks for the follow. What's up? What's up? Okay. About video games have absolutely changed my life. I live with a house full of people who moved here from the internet. Whoa. Dude, that's interesting. That's really interesting. I like that. Okay. Oh, look at this almost 14-year-old pug. Oh, geez, look cute. Sure. Yeah. She's got a neurological thing going on. Aw, so sweet. All right. Aw, Trinity. I'm sorry. Yeah, Trinity. I really wish there was more I could do in this moment. You know, it's like one of these moments where it's like, you know, I wish I, you know, gosh, like I said, I wish that there was more I can do right now. But if you hang tight for a few minutes, my friend, I'm gonna reach out to you, you know, on the Discord thing. We're gonna try to see what we can do there. I'm sorry to hear that you're struggling. I really am. I can tell you're hurt. And you're reaching out, which is a good thing. So I'm gonna reach back out to you, my friend. Okay. Forky 812. Thanks for the follow. All right. Okay.
Don't ya?
Is this person logging off? I don't even know. All right, here's what we're gonna do.
She just
1 second
really
here.
wants the treats. She sees them on the table and she's like, shit.
Okay. I'm gonna say.
Okay. I'm gonna open this. Hold on. Hold your horses. You're gonna get some treats. Hold on. No.
Someone's giving her cat treats. You kidding me right now? Heck yeah. Hello.
I want the bag. Exercise time. Yeah.
Thank you for your mental health advocacy.
Also, if you're interested, I am running
exclamation point.
Little giveaway for some Stream Loots
Cheer
card packs for my
100
collection.
bits.
Gonna be giving one away probably in the next 15-20-ish minutes.
Oh, she's gonna be on for a little bit. Yeah, that's good.
Hit exclamation point,
see what she says.
And enter in for a free one of those packs. And oh my god! Oh, thank you so much for the bits, my dad. Thank you.
My dad. She called me my dad.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And yes, advocating for mental health is super important because it should be okay to talk about it. And that's what I try to do. Oh, my gizmo just ran away.
Nice. Nice, I like that.
Ken, thank you so much for that. Thank you.
Aw. That's cool.
Oh, hey, no.
Okay. And look, is that a little cat? Is that a cat? What that is? Okay.
I love
dude,
you.
sweet.
And
okay.
You just had like 5.
I like this.
And that's too much for one sitting for this cat.
I like Stream Dad. Yeah. I don't know about that one. Doesn't want to say the full name. You could tell she got uncomfortable with it. Like she was reading it and then she got uncomfortable. She's like, my dad. No, she didn't quite say that. She's like, oh, thanks, my dad. I was she's a cat mom.